Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Catching California. I'm your host, Chris, in case you forgot, because it's been a minute since we last spoke and you last saw me fishing. I've been out more than a few times since you last saw, I think it was the Connecticut videos that I was posting, which I still have some footage from, and I will get to. But yeah, from the background, there's a lot going on here, and amidst all the craziness and negativeness that's going on around here, we have good news. My wife and I are expecting a baby girl. And when I mean expecting, I mean any day now. It is April 5th when we're recording this, and April 7th is the due date. So coming down to the wire here, we're basically staying home like we've been told, and we're just waiting and try not to get on each other's nerves, because every little move, every little thing is but so far so good. Now, with having to stay home, we're both trying to stay sane, which means a lot of Netflix, a lot of TV, and for me, and I'm sure a lot of you, a lot of fishing videos. I mean, a lot of fishing videos, repeat fishing videos, which is insane, and as well as scrolling through people's Instagrams and on FishBrain, watching people catch fish and living vicariously through them, especially around here, watching people hit Echo Lake in Echo Park, and especially this morning, seeing someone pull an 8-pounder on fly rod. Just insane. But speaking of fly fishing, I have been getting into fly tying, and this is what's keeping me sane. For birthday gifts, as well as stuff that I purchased, I now have the beginnings of a fly tying kit. I started out with a vise. This is the Orvis Easy Travel Vise. It was on sale, which was great. It was on sale for like 50% off. I think it's about $100. It comes with this base, but then also a clamp base, so you can travel with it. And it's been great. Unlike a lot of the beginner kits that just have the travel vise and just a rigid head, this has the ability, to rotate, which can be very handy for tricky flies, which I envision myself doing, and it already has come in handy. So there was that. There was the Dr. Slick's fly tool kit. Let's get this open here. And this has been the Hackle pliers always. Last take, they fell out too, but they've been great. Pretty decent quality. Loading a bobbin, look it up, or at least in the book, that instructions, it's a thing. I'll let you discover that if you haven't done it already. And then I also got this hairline materials kit. This was recommended highly by the guys over at Mad River Outfitters, which I've been watching their videos like crazy, saving lots of fly tying videos from them. Very good instructional videos. I'm sure there's some great ones that are very helpful to veterans and guys that have been fly fishing for a while, but there are also some that are great at getting down to the nitty gritty of just what you need. You know, they said there are a lot of fly tying kits out there that have the vices and have the tools and have everything you need to start getting going for cheap, but you know, the materials are lower quality, the tools are lower quality. So I kind of made the decision of piecing together a kit, and so far so good. Now, let's see the box here. It came with this book, which is great because it's got a lot of instructions for doing some beginner flies. I mean, like green for easy flies, yellow for harder flies, red for tricky flies. It's been very helpful. Now, the kit came with everything to make all of these flies. 20 flies. Pretty great. So, and mainly for beginners. What interests me the most, I mean, there are trout flies, and I will be fishing for trout eventually. There are some spots up in the desert, in the hills, below Pyramid Lake, which holds some natural trout that I'll probably have to wait until next winter to fish, because it's only good for the native trout there January through April, I think. But I was mainly interested in some of the bass patterns I can use for bass fishing, like woolly buggers, leeches. I could use this woolly worm maybe for carp or for some big panfish. And then there was also some streamers in there, I think. But it's been great. You know, the written instructions are great, but you can find videos on how to make all these flies if the written instructions aren't working out, because we all know there's a million fly fishing videos and fishing videos in general out there. But this has been great. I really like this kit. Now, of course, I had some more materials along the way trickling in with the different shipping delays coming on, but I started out with what's in the kit. I started out with woolly bugger. This woolly bugger was the first fly now I've ever tied, and it's a bit rough. I have no doubt that if I found a fish desperate enough, it would go for it. I was happy with it at the time. Made only minutes after ripping open the kit on my birthday. It's like Christmas morning. And then I moved over to woolly worm. This is my woolly worm. Come on, focus. That is a real woolly worm, as in one I bought from Mad Rivers. Not bad. Pretty happy with how it turned out. A little thicker, a little more rough around the edges. I then moved on to a leech pattern. There you go. It's hard to... And this one looked like it did in the book, so I was happy. You would have thought, by the way I was running around, like I just made the Mona Lisa. Everybody was like, great, cool. No idea what you just did. So with my confidence high after that one, I was like, you know what? I don't have a lot of what I need to make a lot of the bass flies yet, but I'm going to make one out of what I can find. And I decided to tackle an articulating woolly bugger pattern. Yeah, because your fourth fly should be an articulated fly. It's a little rough. Like, it's just crystal flash and glue. It's just, you know, the front end, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a video basically going through and just fishing flies that I tied, especially these beginning ones, because these ones, I have a feeling a fish would look at this going by and be like, what the hell is that? But, you know, all good fun. I then moved on to just making stuff up because I was waiting for materials, and I didn't want to make trout flies. I have trout flies that I bought. So I took, right there, this little EWG hook I have. I don't even know the size, but it's small. And I made a little bait fish pattern, a little weedless one. I don't know how weedless it'll be, but, you know, once I got some UV resin in some eyes, I think it turned out a little cute little bait fish pattern. Some bucktail and some crystal flash, and, you know, we'll see how it works out. So the big brother to that little bait fish is my big bait fish. Come on, focus. There we go. There we go. I didn't have any lead wire. Let's switch hands here. Didn't have any lead wire for it here, so I just wrapped a ton of the copper wire that I had, then just covered it in 6/0 thread. Got some resin, some UV resin on it, and figured if I just put enough on there, there'd be enough weight. It definitely does seem like when I haven't tested it in water yet, I could just do that in a little container, but I will later, that it does want to just kind of rest like this, which is perfect, because I can jig it and do some things with it. We'll see. I'm going to go to, hopefully, I'll go to Echo Park, go into the shallows with some of the clear water, and get some footage of all these flies, so I can see how my beginning flies did, and some of my ones that I made up and see how ridiculous they look, or if they work at all. But like the small bait fish pattern, come on, crystal flash, bucktail, a little bit of peacock feather to get some green in there, because there aren't a lot of brown and white fish over there at Echo Park, but I figured some green in there would help it look like some of the bluegill sunfish in there, as well as the little bit of orange. Now, some materials came in from Mad River Outfitters, as well as my UV light. Anything, those couple with some of the UV resin on, I came back and put the eyes in the UV resin on to clean them up. But I got some, it's hard to hold it by just the, maybe I should just use, oh, hold on. Here we go. Watch this. Bear with me a little bit here. Maybe this will work. Ta-da! It is, I got some sculpin heads from Fish Gall, and I made a nice little sculpin fly. Now, it's not like I have a lot of waters with sculpin fish in them, but I figured like a little craw, bass would love that, but also there are some goby fish in, at least I know in the lagoon, because I've seen someone catch a little goby fish in the Castaic Lagoon, and I feel like there's got to be some up in the upper lake, maybe, because there's smallmouth in there. So I figured that one would work, and it's a fun little fly, and pretty easy to tie. I mean, you really only need the zonker strips and the skull, which came with the eyes. There was one tutorial, and I did it with some partridge feathers, I think it was, for the gills of the goby, but they kind of got messed up. And the next one I make just won't really need it. Then I moved on to some craw patterns. Now, I had this little craw pattern. Boom. And it's great, you know, it's nice and visible, but it still has that craw shape, has some appendages, you know, some good movement. So I tried to replicate it a little bit with this. Now, it's got some orange on it, so nice and visible. See right there. Got some zonker strips for some claws. Now, I actually kind of threw it in a cup just to see how it fell, and it fell nicely. I think it'll work as a good little bass jig. I was pretty happy with it once again. So after my third fly, confidence went up. Made that fourth monstrosity, confidence went down. Did the bait fish, felt a little redeemed. Sculpin turned out great, very happy. This craw, very happy. Then I moved on to a craw pattern, once again with the craw, because all I had was the brown. I don't know why I only bought brown zonker strips. But it is a fly pattern that I saw posted online by, oh, come on, don't look at my eyes, look at my craw, by McFly Angler. It's mainly just, it's just these little stretchy legs that I got off one of my bass jigs, because I have a ton of them. Some zonker strips, some chenille, and some dumbbell eyes, and it turned out pretty well. I made another one, kind of got the legs a little bit better. Like I said, I'll zoom in on these so you can get a better look at them, and those turned out great. So my confidence was even higher. So I thought, why don't I combine? Come on, focus. The bait fish and the craw. And how you say? Well, this monstrosity. Same EWG hook, dumbbell eyes down below, brown bucktail and the peacock on top, and the, what is it? Oh yeah, the zonker strips for claws. You know, not bad. Anyways, I digress. It's It didn't have the bucktail and the peacock in the beginning in this configuration, or the dumbbell eyes, and what was on there was disgusting and gross, so I cut it off, got all the glue off of it, and then redid the front. The Zonker strips remained because I thought they were cool. And we'll see how that weedless bass jig works. Who knows? Who knows? Then, while I'm waiting for more material, I looked around. I have some of these kind of John Montana hybrid carp flies because I want to target some carp. Because I'm still looking for my first carp on fly. And so I realized I had most of what I needed to tie it. So I think I did a serviceable or half decent attempt at it. I'll show you them side by side so you can get a look. And I feel good about it, you know. It's a little different because I had different eyes. I think they put their eyes down below and I didn't, which I definitely should. I just realized that. They did it so that it could rest on the eyes. So, I don't know. I'm just realizing that. Who knows, maybe it'll stand up a little better in the water. And I messed around. In the beginning I made it. It's in a different fly box that I don't want to get into because this room's pretty crazy right now. This little, come on baby, right there. That little, like, fly. It looks like a little horse fly or whatever. Size 18, tiny fly. I figured that'd be great for some bluegill. I also made, I don't even know what this is. You'll see it on the table. It's just something. And then I had also made this little guy, which I'm pretty happy with. As like a little dry fly kind of thing, or once it sinks, could kind of drive the bluegill crazy or panfish crazy. And then messed around with some dubbing because my dubbing skills, which the dubbing on this can look like kind of crap because it's just supposed to look bulky, but this was gross. And then this one turned out okay. I think it'll be a dry fly. Just some dubbing, a little bit of fur. I don't even know what I put on the head of it, and some rubber legs. The ice dub, I think, will be nice. I think it'll sit on the water. It'll look great. Anywho, that's what I've made so far. I didn't mean to go into depth with all of them, but I did. I have some more material coming, like I said. I'll be working on some Sneaky Pete's. I want to get some topwater bugs going. I bought just one of these, so I know that was dumb. I should have bought multiple, but the whole motivation is to make some instead of buying some. I'm going to be home a lot, and in between late night feedings and all the craziness that is being a parent, I figured I could make some flies. Yeah, that's what's going on with me right now. Just tying flies, waiting for a baby, and eventually getting out to fish. Don't know when that would be, but in the meantime, I'm going to put together a little compilation of fish catches from earlier this year, I think a couple weeks ago, and then some from last year. It's a couple of fish I caught when I went out after work at night for some night fishing, and some on fly, which a bass on fly, and some more of the fly fishing in Connecticut. So be sure to be on the lookout for those videos or video to drop soon. And be sure to like and subscribe. Please stick with me through this transition of my channel with fishing and becoming a dad and a growing family. It will be a very interesting time. And as always, get out there, get yourself some tight lines, be safe, and take care.